Find a comfortable seat on your mat and let the eyes flutter closed. Take a big breath in, open the mouth, and exhale, let that go. Bring one hand towards the center of your chest, so somewhere near your heart, and breathe up into that hand. We'll bring the opposite hand to the belly and try to breathe these spaces slightly apart from each other, so extending vertically and then anchoring with that base hand on the belly. Today we're going to be working with drawing in towards our center and our foundation. And we start this with the breath. Take one more inhale here. And then bring the hands to heart center, palms together in prayer. Slightly press towards your midline here. And then extend the hands interlaced overhead. We'll side bend over to the right, through center, and over to the left. Just moving gently here, back through center, over to the right one more time. Feel length in the left side ribs, back through center. And last time, over to the left, lengthening through the right side, extending long overhead, and then letting the hands come back towards the thighs or the knees. Flutter those eyes open and we'll make our way onto our butts and slowly roll until you're laying back on the mat. And you can bring the knees with you. We'll let the feet reach the mat, knees point up towards the ceiling. Extend the tailbone long and then use the glutes to lift the pelvis off the mat, coming into a low bridge with length in that spine, that low back. Gently bring a pulse into the hips, into the pelvis. So you'll lift an inch and lower an inch. It doesn't have to be big. And as we're here, really feel the feet rooting into the mat, continuing to pulse the pelvis, but feeling that the feet can anchor you. Walk the feet a couple inches away and then flex them so just the heels are on the mat and dig those heels into the mat. You'll feel the hamstrings light up. Press the palms up towards the ceiling like you're carrying a tray and pull back on the right fingers with the left hand. And then we'll switch sides, pulling back on the left hand with the right fingers. Opening up the forearm, continuing to hold the pelvis up, lower the toes, and then sequentially lower all the way through the spine until the pelvis reaches the mat again. Bring the hands onto the front of the hips, the pelvic points, and exhale, tilt the tailbone up maybe a couple inches, and inhale, let that go. Exhale, tilting, just drawing into the low belly here. Inhale, return to neutral. Exhale, curling the tailbone up, really drawing the low belly in. Inhale, let that go. And exhale, curl the pubic bone up, tightening in the low belly, drawing those pelvic points towards your midline. Inhale, let it go. Exhale, tilting the pelvis, tailbone curls. And then let that go. We'll interlace the hands behind the head, elbows reaching up towards the ceiling or the sky, wherever you are. Exhale all the air out and head and shoulder blades lift off the mat. Extend the left knee, but keep the thighs parallel here. Lower the left foot and inhale, head and shoulder blades lower. Exhale, head and shoulders lift. Extend the right leg long, flexing through the foot. Lower the foot and then inhale, head and shoulders lower. Exhale, head and shoulder blades lift. Left leg extends, draw into that low belly and twist an inch to the left from the base of the ribs, really drawing into the core. Return to center, lower the left foot, and then inhale, lower head and shoulders. Exhale, lift. Right leg extends this time. Turning an inch to the right, twisting just slightly, feeling those obliques light up. Return to center, lower the foot. Inhale, head and shoulders lower. Exhale, head and shoulder blades lift. Left leg extends. Twisting an inch to the left, stay up, move through center, twist to the right. Move through center, twist to the left. Return to center, lower the foot. Inhale, head and shoulder blades lower. Exhale, head and shoulders lift. Right leg extends, same thing to the other side. Twisting to the right here. Draw into the obliques, through center, stay lifted. Over to the left, take a twist. Back through center, twist to the right. Lower that foot. Inhale, head and shoulder blades lower. Exhale, head and shoulders lift. Extend the left leg. Twist to the left. Through center, twisting to the right. Back through center, twist to the left. Maybe draw the right knee towards your belly, your chest. Lower the right foot, lower the left foot. Inhale, head and shoulder blades lower. Exhale, head and shoulders lift. Right leg extends long, flex the foot. Twist to the right. Through center, twist to the left. Through center, twist to the right. Pause, maybe draw that left knee in this time. Lower that foot. Back to center, lower the right foot. You made it. You can take a second to get a wiggle out. Maybe rolling on the back, anything that feels good. And then we'll come up and around and move onto all fours. So coming into table, or I often call this quadruped. And just finding length in the spine here. We'll extend the left leg long, but keep the pelvis even and draw the left knee forward beyond where the right leg is, and then extend it long behind you. So exhale, drawing that thigh towards the belly, knee towards the chest, extending it long. Last time here, drawing thigh and knee towards you, really feeling hip flexion, and then lower that foot. And we'll go to the right, extending the leg long, pelvis stays even, drawing the knee in towards the chest, extending long, drawing that knee forward, thigh towards belly, keep the low belly lifted, extend it long, and then draw it in this last time. Pause, feel those hip flexors lighting up. We'll be doing more hip flexion, lower the knee, and then inhale, take a cow, shining the chest forward. Exhale, push the floor away, rounding through the spine, cat. Inhale for cow. And exhale, push the floor away. Cat, really pushing that space between the shoulder blades. Inhale, nice extension for cow. Exhale, cat. We'll tuck the toes and lift into down dog, coming into this triangle-like pose. It's fine to bend the knees, take a few wiggles here. Really feel the lift into the pelvis and the low belly. And then bend the knees and we'll slowly walk forward to the top of the mat, lifting up tall for Tadasana, mountain pose. Exhale, hinge at the hips, plant the hands, and step the right foot back, lowering the knee and the top of the foot. Inhale, rise, arms overhead. Exhale, palms come to heart center, and just pause for a moment, feeling the glutes turn on. Inhale, extend the arms overhead, plant the hands on the mat, and step the left foot back for plank. Glutes turn on, lower the knees, and lower all the way to the floor. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward, lower the left knee and the top of the foot. Inhale, rise for that half kneel. Palms come to heart center. Find your length and then extend the arms overhead. Plant the hands in front of the right foot and step the left foot in. Bend into the knees, exhale. Inhale, rise, Tadasana. Exhale, hinge at the hips, plant the hands. Left foot steps back, lower the knee, top of the foot. Inhale, rise for half kneel. Palms come to heart center and then press towards your midline here. And use that to feel even more length through the spine. Inhale, arms forward and up. Plant the hands, step the right foot back to plank. Exhale, lower the knees and lower all the way to the floor. Inhale, chest pulls forward, cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward, lower the right knee and the top of the foot. Inhale, rise. Exhale, palms to heart center. Press the palms into each other, find that length. And then inhale, arms lift overhead. Exhale, plant the hands in front of the foot. Step the back foot in, bending into the knees, forward fold. Inhale, rise, Tadasana. Hands come to the front of the hips and slide them down the legs as you come into a squat, keeping the spine long. And then reverse that, sliding the hands up the legs, arms overhead, inhale. Exhale, hands to the front of the thighs, sliding down as you hinge at the hips, bend at the knees. Maybe the hands graze the mat. And then draw the hands up the legs, keeping the spine long. Inhale, Tadasana, finding that length. Exhale, hands to the front of the hips, sliding down the legs, maybe grazing the mat again. And then this time we'll lift the chest and the belly towards a chair pose, palms together at heart center. Really drawing into your foundation using the feet. Open the arms wide, feel your length here, and then slide the right foot back towards a lunge. Lower the right knee and lift the arms for our half kneel. Interlace the fingers overhead, punching up towards the sky. Left hand comes behind the pelvis and the right hand reaches over to the left, getting a side bend. Inhale, left arm lifts. Plant the hands on either side of the left foot and sit the hips back for a runner's stretch. You can keep a bend in both knees here, flexing the left foot in front of you. We'll walk the hands over to the side of the mat and then bend into the right knee and hip for a side lunge. Hands can be on the mat or lifted. It really depends on how you can keep length in your spine. And then turn to the back of the mat, bend into the right knee and hip, and just gently tap the left knee towards the mat. We'll walk all the way to the left, back to the top of the mat, and sit the hips back for that runner stretch. Left leg is in front, buoyancy in the knees. Turning to the side of the mat for our side lunge, bending into knee and hip. And to the back of the mat, find a long, low lunge here. Tap the left knee down on the mat, and then return to the front of the mat, walking hands to the left. Sit back for your runner's stretch here. Walking over to the right side of the mat, bend into knee and hip for side lunge. And then walk to the back of the mat, turn those feet. Long, low lunge here, and then tap the left knee down. Lifting the hip up again, plant the hands, step back for downward dog. So we're facing the back of the mat here. And bend into the knees while you press the palms into the mat. Don't let the armpits dip here. So keep integrity in the shoulders. You can extend the knees. And then bend one more time for this crouch. Extending back into downward facing dog. Right leg lifts, three-legged down dog. Exhale, shift forward, hover, draw that knee towards the chest, hovering plank. Exhale, extend, three-legged down dog. Shifting forward, knee towards the chest, hovering plank. Inhale, return to three-legged down dog. Exhale, shift the weight forward, knee towards the chest. Inhale, extend, pressing through that right heel. And exhale, shifting forward, step the right foot down, bend into the left knee, and rise for a crescent lunge here. Draw the palms together at heart center. Keep that tailbone rooting towards the mat. Inhale, arms overhead, extend the legs, reaching long. Exhale, hands to heart center, bend the knees. Inhale, straighten the knees, arms overhead. Exhale, hands in prayer, and step the left foot forward to meet the right. Rise for Tadasana. Inhale. Hands to the front of the hips, sliding them down the legs again for our squat, our precursor to chair, and reverse it, drawing up towards Tadasana. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, sliding the arms down the legs, sitting back in the hips. Let the hands graze the mat if you can. And inhale, return to Tadasana, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to the front of the hips, sliding down the legs, maybe reaching the mat, and then lift the belly and the chest off the legs, coming into our chair pose. And hands come to heart center here. Pull the base, the sits bones towards your midline. Feel those glutes working for you. And then extend the arms wide out from your shoulders. Step the left foot back in a lunge. Lower that knee. Top of the foot. Inhale, arms overhead, half kneel. Interlace the fingers, punch them up above the head. Feel that lift in the torso, and the right hand comes behind the pelvis, taking a side bend over to the right, reaching that left arm. Right arm returns overhead, and then hands frame out the right foot, sit back for that runner stretch on the right side. We've been here before. Walking over to the left, sit back into the left knee and hip this time for side lunge. And then walk the hands to the back of the mat, turn the feet for this long, low lunge, and tap the right knee to the mat. Straighten it and walk all the way back to the front of the mat with those hands. Sitting back with the hips for this runner stretch. Walking over to the left, bend into the knee, side lunge. Walking back to I guess it is the top of the mat, coming into a long left low lunge and tap the right knee down. Straighten it again. One more time this cycle, returning to the back of the mat, sit the hips back, bend at the knees, runner stretch. Walking over to the side of the mat, bend into the left knee and hip, and then walk to the top of the mat for this long low lunge. Tap the knee, the right knee, lift it, and step the left foot back for downward facing dog. Bend into the knee and hips here, crouching but keeping lift in the armpits and the forearms. Extend for down dog. One more crouch, bend at the knees and hips. Extend for that lift in down dog. Left leg extends, three-legged down dog. Exhale, shifting forward for this hovering plank. Knee draws towards the chest. Inhale, extend, left three-legged down dog. Exhale, knee and thigh towards the chest. Inhale, extend, three-legged down dog. Exhale, draw the thigh towards the chest, plank. Inhale, three-legged down dog. And exhale, draw the thigh forward, use that lift, plant the left foot, bend into the right knee, rise for crescent lunge. Keep the tailbone rooting down here, arms are overhead, and then palms meet at heart center. Inhale, straighten the legs, lift the arms. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to heart center. Inhale, straighten and lift. Exhale, bend the knees, palms at heart center. Last time, inhale, extending everything. Exhale, hands at heart center. Step the right foot forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, plant the hands, step back for plank here. Turn those glutes on. Lower the knees and lower all the way towards the floor. Inhale for your cobra. Pull the chest forward. Exhale, tuck the toes, down dog. Inhale here. Exhale, bend the knees. And then walk the feet forward towards the top of the mat. Inhale, rise. Exhale, plant the hands. Step the feet back for plank. You can lower the knees or lower halfway. And inhale, pull back for cobra or up dog. Exhale, lift into your down dog, and inhale there, find some lift in the pelvis. Exhale, bend the knees, and step the feet towards the top of the mat. Inhale, rise, Tadasana. Exhale, hinge at the hips, plant the hands, step the feet back for plank. Lower the knees or lower halfway. Inhale, rise for cobra or up dog. Exhale, lift into your down dog. Inhale, bend at the knees, and you can walk or take a little hop to the top, and we'll inhale, rise, Tadasana. Exhale, hinge at the hips, plant the hands. Last time, come into plank. Lower in whatever way you'd like. Come into your cobra or up dog on an inhale, and exhale, lift into that down dog.
Left leg lifts, three-legged down dog. Exhale, step the foot forward, turning to the right side of the mat. Lift up for goddess. So this is kind of like a second position if you've ever taken dance. Legs and knees at a 45 away from you. And then palms come together at heart center. Inhale, extend the arms and legs straight. And then maybe raise on the toes. Exhale, bending the knees, bringing the palms back to heart center. Again, just like that, arms extend overhead, straighten the knees. Inhale, maybe rise on the toes. Exhale, bending into the knees and hips, palms return to the heart center. Inhale, extending hands, knees, maybe lift onto the toes, finding that length. Exhale, pivot to the front of the mat, and we'll shift the weight onto the left foot. Hover the right foot for airplane or warrior 3. Arms can be down by the sides. Palms come together at heart center. Keep length in the spine and really feel the left glute grounding you. Arms will open wide, kind of experiencing the full wingspan, and then return to heart center. So just oscillating between these two positions, arms open wide from the shoulders, finding length, and then come together at heart center. Palms opening away from each other. Lower that right foot, coming into a twisted T, right arm forward, left arm back, twist to the left, and then maybe extend this so the left arm reaches for the right thigh, right arm up towards the sky. Return to that first T, and then windmill all the way to the back, bend into the right knee and hip and plant the left hand. Twisting to the right, open up that right arm to the sky for a twisted crescent here. And then lower the left knee underneath the hip, slide the right foot back, modified side plank. Option here to hover the right leg, just in line with the hip there, but keep anchored through the hand. Step the right foot forward, bend into the knee, pivot on the back foot, lower the heel, warrior variation, right forearm to the right thigh. And then coming back towards modified side plank, plant the left hand, lower left knee, right leg extends back, maybe hovering. And then exhale, bend at the knee and hip, step the right foot forward towards warrior variation, left heel grounding down, right forearm on the right thigh. Really squeezing into the sits bones there, and then returning, planting that left hand, maybe trying a full side plank this time, stacking the feet. And then whatever version you've got, step the right foot forward, warrior variation. Really feel the feet rooted into the mat. Rise, arms extend long for warrior 2. And then windmill towards the back of the mat, plant the hands for plank. Exhale, lower to the mat any way you choose, through the knees or straight. Inhale, pull the hands back for cobra, or try flying the arms and legs back for locust pose. If you'd like an added challenge, you can draw the arms up along the sides and above the head for upper diagonals. Then exhale, plant the hands under the shoulders, lift into your downward facing dog. Other side here, right leg will lift into a 3-legged down dog. Keeping the pelvis even here, don't let the right hip fly. And then exhale, step that foot forward, turning to the left, open for our goddess. Even here, feeling those feet really grounded in the floor as the hands come to heart center. Then use that grounding, sink just an inch lower before you inhale, extend arms and legs, maybe rise on the toes. Exhale, return to goddess, and then go just past where you normally would stop, just an inch. Inhale, rise, extending arms and legs, maybe lifting on the toes. Continuing as we do this one more cycle to keep the tailbone rooting towards the mat. So keeping the length in that low back. Maybe you're rising on the toes on this inhale. Return to goddess and then turn to the back of the mat. Bend into that right knee and hip. Hover the left leg for our warrior 3 airplane. Palms come to heart center. Feeling the left pelvic point in line with the right. Extend the arms wide from the shoulders for full wings. And bring the palms back together at heart center. Extend the arms wide. Open wingspan. Palms come back at heart center. Extend the arms wide. Feel the shoulder blades really on the back there. And then we'll lower the left toes towards the mat. Come into the twisted T. Left arm in front, right arm behind. And then extend this back, right arm reaching towards the left thigh, left arm up towards the sky. Return to your twisted T and windmill all the way to the front of the mat, bend into left knee and hip, plant the right hand and open up for a twisted crescent. Left arm reaching high towards the sky, almost leaning back into that supporting hand, the right arm. Then we'll lower the right knee for modified side plank, slide the left leg back, adding a hover if you'd like with the left leg. Exhale, spine doesn't move, but step the left foot forward, moving towards warrior variation. Ground that right heel, left forearm on left thigh, and reach up towards the sky. Reversing, planting right hand, right knee lands, modified side plank. You can go straight to side plank if you like that variation. And then exhale, we'll step the left foot forward again, ground through the back heel, left forearm on thigh, warrior variation. Exhale, plant the right hand, modified or full side plank, stacking those feet if you'd like, keeping those ribs contained, tailbone rooting towards the heels. And then exhale, step the left foot forward, warrior variation. Last time here, keeping tailbone rooting towards the mat. Inhale, rise, warrior 2. Exhale, windmill, plant the hands at the top of the mat and step back for plank. Wrap those glutes down and then exhale, lower towards the mat. Inhale for cobra, or fly the arms back and lift the legs for locust, but really feel the pubic bone rooting into the mat. And then option to extend the arms forward and up above the head on upper diagonals. You'll feel that low back really light up. Plant the hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes, lift into your down dog here. And just take a little wiggle. Maybe a big inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, and then walk or take a hop to the top of the mat. Forward fold. And inhale, rise to stand Tadasana. And just shake it out for a second. We're about to stream all this together, so we'll move through it a little bit faster. All these things you've seen. We'll bring the hands together at heart center and take a big exhale with the mouth open. And then return the hands to that chest and belly position we practiced at the start of class, giving a second to root into our center. Inhale, arms lift overhead. Exhale, plant the hands, forward fold. Right foot steps back. Lower the knee in the top of the foot and inhale, rise. Palms come together at heart center. Give a little bit press. And then inhale, extend those arms overhead. Left fingertips will come down on your side and you'll bend to the left and try to reach the left fingers into the right inner thigh and use that to kind of anchor the pelvis as you side bend. Left arm lifts, frame out the left foot, sit the hips back, runner's stretch. We've been here. Moving a little more quickly, turn to the right, bend into right knee and hip for side lunge, and then turn to the back of the mat for this extended low lunge and then tap the left knee. We'll go straight to the other side. Sit the hips back, runner's stretch here. Turn to the left, bend into left knee and hip. Turning to the front of the mat, tapping the right knee towards the mat. Sitting back, runner's stretch. Turning over to the right side, lunge. Back of the mat, tapping the left knee in this lunge, and then sit the hips back, runner's stretch. Keeping length in the spine. Turn to the left side lunge. Top of the mat, tapping the right knee. Sit back, runner's stretch, turn to the right side lunge. Back of the mat, tap that left knee. Sit the hips back, runner's stretch. Turning to the left, bending into left knee and hip, side lunge. Front of the mat, we'll tap right knee. And then step the left foot back, slide it through for left three-legged down dog, and step the foot forward, ground into it. We're going straight towards airplane here. So you can walk those hands up the legs if that helps you stay secure. Lower the right toes, open immediately for goddess, bringing the palms to heart center. Inhale, extend arms and legs, rise onto the toes. Exhale, turn to goddess. We'll rotate to the back of the mat, bend into right knee and hip, fly for airplane here. Exhale, plant the hands, slide the right leg back and through, three-legged down dog. Step the foot forward. Left leg will lift, we'll rise for our airplane. You can walk up the leg. Lower those back toes and turn to the left for goddess pose. Palms at heart center. Inhale, extend arms and legs, rise up on the toes. Exhale, bend into knees and pivot to the top of the mat. Shifting into the left leg, use that glute, airplane. Right leg hovers. Plant the hands, step the right toes down and slide the left foot back, three-legged down dog. Left foot steps forward, weight into that leg, lift the right leg and airplane. Lower the right toes, turn to the right for goddess. Palms at heart center. Inhale, extend long knees and arms. Maybe lift on the toes. Exhale, bend at the knees and turn to the back of the mat. Shift into that right leg, warrior three, airplane. Hands land, left toes land, slide the right leg back, three-legged down dog. Exhale, step the foot forward, stay low. We'll root into the left hand, open right arm up, twisted crescent here. And then look down at that left hand and you'll try to stack the right foot for side plank. So shifting onto the edge of the left foot, maybe even reaching the right toes behind you with that bent knee and reaching all the way overhead for wild thing variation. Exhale, step the right foot forward, moving towards warrior two. Ground the left heel and rise. Exhale, reverse your warrior here, right arm overhead. Inhale through center and exhale for warrior variation, left arm overhead. Reverse your warrior and warrior variation. Rise for warrior two, windmill to the front of the mat. Plant the right hand, And then lower the right knee just slightly behind the hip. And you can lift the torso here. Squeeze the right glute and you'll feel some length in the front of the hip. If you'd like kind of to level up, you can plant the right hand under the shoulder, bend the right knee, and reach back with the left arm for the toes. Release whatever you've got, plant the hands, step back for plank, and lower to the floor. Inhale for cobra or locust, flying legs and hands, or try a bow if that's in your practice. But continue whichever version you're doing to root the pubic bone down and even find lift in the low belly. Exhale, release, plant the hands, lift into your downward dog. Inhale there, and then exhale, keep that lift in the arms, and we'll take a crouch. Inhale, return to down dog. Exhale, crouch. Use that harnessed energy and step the feet forward. Inhale, rise for Tadasana. And it wouldn't be an Earth Day class without a brief tree, so we'll just slide the right leg up the left leg. As far as you can, it can stick with the calf. Bring the hands to heart center, and inhale, we'll let that go. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot back, lower the knee and the top of the foot. Inhale, rise for your half kneel. Hands to heart center here. Give a little press towards your midline. Then extend the arms long overhead. Side bending to the right here, right arm comes long, and then maybe you can press the right fingertips into the inner left thigh. It'll keep that pelvis anchored. Inhale, return to vertical. Exhale, frame out that right foot. Sit the hips back, runner stretch. Other side here, turning to the side of the mat, bend into left knee and hip, side lunge. Back of the mat, low lunge, and then tap the right knee. Runner stretch, sitting the hips back, turning to the side of the mat, right side lunge. Front of the mat, tapping the left knee, sit the hips back, runner stretch, keeping length in the spine, over for a left side lunge. Towards the back of the mat, we'll tap the right knee and immediately sit the hips back, runner stretch. Maybe this feels a little better now. Right side lunge. And then tap that left knee. Sit the hips back, runner stretch. Moving to the side of the mat, left side lunge. Back of the mat, long, low lunge, tap the right knee. Hips sit back, runner stretch. Turn to the side of the mat, right side lunge. Front of the mat, we'll tap the left knee. And then plant the hands. We'll slide the left leg all the way back for three-legged down dog. Don't let that hip open. And then exhale, step the foot forward, immediately walking the hands up the leg for airplane. Left leg is lifted. Lower the left toes, turn to the side of the mat for goddess. Palms at heart center. Inhale, extend arms and legs, maybe rise on the toes. Exhale, turn to the back of the mat, shift into that left leg, airplane. Plant the hands under the shoulders, right toes lower, left leg slides back, three-legged down dog. Exhale, step it forward, root into the mat, rise for your airplane, right leg lifts. Right toes lower, open to the side of the mat, goddess. Hands at heart center, inhale, extend, rise. Exhale, bend back to goddess, turn to the front of the mat, shift into the right leg, airplane. Palms plant under the shoulders, slide the right leg back, three-legged down dog. Exhale, step the foot forward, rise for airplane. Left toes lower, turning to the side of the mat, goddess. Palms at heart center. Inhale, extend, maybe rise on the toes. Exhale, return to goddess. Back of the mat, shift into that left leg, turn that glute on. It's so ready for you. And then plant the hands under the shoulders, lower the right toes, slide the left leg all the way back. Exhale, step the left foot forward, stay low, root into the right arm, opening up for a twisted crescent, left arm flies up. And then shifting onto the edge of the right foot, stack the toes for side plank. Maybe even pop the left toes slightly behind the right knee and extend the arm long overhead, wild thing variation. Exhale, step forward with the left leg, rise for warrior two, grounding the right heel. Reverse your warrior. Inhale through center. Exhale, warrior variation. Left forearm on thigh. Through center, inhale. Exhale, reverse it. Left arm far overhead. Keep a lift in those side ribs. Through center and warrior variation. Forearm to thigh, reaching forward. Through your warrior two, windmill to the top of the mat, plant the left hand, left knee lowers, and we rise for this front hip stretch. So really use the glute here to open up the front body. If you'd like an extra level, you can plant the left hand under the shoulder. Keep the hip lifted and squeeze the glute and reach back with the right arm for the left toes. But don't dip into the hip there. It's a challenging moment of stability. Plant the hands, step back for plank. Exhale, lower to the floor. Inhale for cobra, your locust, or again, take that bow variation. Continuing to find support in the low belly, using the glutes to protect the low back, so don't crunch in there. Exhale, let go whatever you've got, plant the hands and lift into down dog. Take an inhale there, and then exhale, harness everything into your center. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bend at the knees and hips, and step the feet forward. Inhale, rise to Tadasana, moving towards tree. Left foot just slides up the right leg. Knee opens up. We're in external rotation here. Hands at heart center, they can extend overhead. And then let that go. Exhale, bend really deeply into the knees, bent knee forward fold. And let the head, the whole torso just cascade over the thighs, maybe interlace, grab either elbow and just sway it out. Plant the hands under the shoulders, step the right foot back, lower the knee, and the left foot. Come into table. Inhale, take a cow. Exhale, push the mat away for a cat. And then step the right hand about 2 inches forward, lifting left arm up to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle, so thread the left arm under the right and find a nice shoulder release here, but try to keep those pelvic points even in back. Replace the left hand and then step that hand a couple inches forward. Right arm reaches up to the sky. Exhale, right arm threads underneath the left, taking a twist, being mindful that one side of the pelvis will want to crawl forward, but try not to let it. And then return to table, planting the right hand. And you can sit the hips back for a glorious child's pose. Knees can be wide or narrow on the mat. Shifting forward when you're ready, we'll come onto our backs in whatever way feels comfortable for you. And just recline fully so you're laying back on the mat, similar to where we started. Maybe you want to draw the knees in towards you. But we're moving towards Shavasana here. Take a moment to practice any poses that your body's calling for before we take our final rest. And when you're ready, extend one leg long and then the other. Palms can gently face up towards the ceiling and let those eyes close. This is a great chance to pause the video and take this Shavasana for as long as you'd like. Really taking a moment to let all of this practice of grounding down, of finding our foundation sink in. And then ultimately letting go of all of the work involved in that. And when you're ready, you can bring one hand to the chest, one hand to the belly. And practice that full breath in the torso that we started our class with today. Using this as a reminder that we can ground into this space. We can ground into our own center, root into that place, and then extend long from there. So if you'd like some extension, you can reach the arms high overhead along the floor on a big inhale, like your first morning stretch. And then exhale, let that go. When you're ready, drawing one knee in towards you and then the other. And keeping the eyes closed, come to a comfortable seat on the mat. And we'll just close our practice together here. Take a big inhale and open the mouth, exhale. Palms will meet at heart center, reminding us of this midline. Thank you so much for your practice today. Namaste.